it's me and welcome. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. It was always going to be a little bit late. Anyway, welcome. Let me grab my tub of bits, which I'm hoping I will actually manage to get through in something approaching order. You never know, stranger things have happened. I just need to pop one last sample into my tub, and then I will... that one. Then I will be almost ready. It's frightening. Anywho, I know it's caused some confusion why I am calling this a launch event when the... Sorry, there's chat going on. And yes, Lorna, you're Leslie, you're right. Right, let me concentrate for 2 seconds, and then I will be with you. Is that right? I hope that's right. It looks like it might be right. So, sorry, someone has just answered a question on the group. So who have we got? We've got Joe, we've got Barbara, we've got Nora, we've got Louise. Haven't seen you for an age, Louise. Rachel, Belinda, Pam. Hello to you all. I'm now sort of vaguely concentrating on what I'm doing. So, in case there's been confusion, which I know there has been, so this is my launch party. The catalogue's been out since the 4th of January. But I wanted everyone to have a chance to look at it, and then I'm going to hello Jess, and then I am going to give you a look at some of the samples that I have made. Others have already gone in the post. It's quite interesting when you think, I know I've made a sample for that, and then you realise where it is. However, hello Lorna, hello Leslie. So I'm going to flip the camera down and we can get going. So let's do picture in picture. I apologise, I haven't got any makeup on, I suddenly realised. So we have the new catalogue. So if you're an existing customer of mine, you should have already got this. If you don't have a copy and would like a copy and you're not a demonstrator and would like to shop with me, then let me know. There's a catalogue request form over on my website, and there's a link to my website below in the description bar. And then you can just order one and I'll pop it in the post to you. As I say, if you are already a demonstrator or you're not in the UK, please don't order them because I only send them to the UK. Or if you already have a demonstrator who you work with, you can ask them for a copy and I'm sure they'll be delighted to send one. So Louise is saying her order list is forever changing, so help me decide. Things keep jumping off and on. Yep. We've got Mary Lisa from Central Arkansas. Wow. Yes, you've caught me live. Rachel, I thought you had insight to the new catalogue. No, sorry. Nothing about the annual catalogue. Sorry, no. Other than, of course, we have got the neutrals blends, but that's something else. So I'm going to start at the beginning, which, as they say in the song, is a very good place to start. So let us get started. Now there's a few pages of general stuff, so some things about the kit collection. There is a new kit that's due to launch very soon. It's already out in the States, I think, but for those of us outside of the North American market, not yet. So the first thing we come to is the Sweet Talk suite. That's sweet with a W, sweet with a U. And I have made a couple of samples. So what we've got in this is the Sweet Conversation bundle, so stamp set and dies. I'm not going to show you the stamp set and dies. Basically what I'm going to be showing you are my samples, so that you get an idea of how you might want to use them. There are ideas already in the catalogue. One of the great things about the catalogue is that it does give you lots of ideas, and casing the catalogue is a great way to go. So the suite includes the sweet little boxes, the gingham embossing folder, which I have used but is coming later, the iridescent rhinestone basic jewels, which are my customer thank you gift for qualifying orders this month. You've got your catalogue out, so you're making notes, Jess. Good. We've got the real red faux linen ribbon and the designer series paper. Now, anyone who ordered product shares, they were posted last week with the exception of the New Horizon. I will cover that when we get to it. But it's on its way very soon. Really like the iridescent rhinestones. They are gorgeous. I somehow managed to order far too many. And I have fallen in love with them. They are gorgeous. So I've got 2 samples to show you for this. So I've got this one, which I think is really pretty. So I have used one of the stamps. I am actually going to just grab the stamp set to show you. She says, hoping she can find it. There we go. So I've used this stamp to make a background on my card base. This is Daffodil Delight. Then I've stamped in Daffodil Delight, Mint Macaron, Petal Pink and Highland Heather. I've just stamped some of the hearts. It's this heart down here. Then I've got a little tag with Love You, which is one of the sentiments, and then one of the little hearts just there. And this is the envelope. In fact, there is another little heart just further down. This is the envelope that's in one of the die sets. Hello, Jan. And then this is some of the Fresh Freesia ribbon that I've just cut and made a little bow with. And I've actually, I don't know if you can see it, but I painted my brain, Wink of Stella, thank you, onto each of the hearts. And then this is just a piece of the paper. It's the reverse side of one of the pieces of paper, which is where I got the colours from. In fact, that might be Coastal Cabana that I've stamped, but it's it's to tone with the stripes. And then it's all popped up on a little banner. Nothing on the inside. There's a surprise from me. I never seem to stamp on the inside until I send the card. Thank you, Leslie. So this is a shaker card, which I've actually overstuffed. I've got far too many pieces. Basically, I've just cut lots and lots of the... I've stamped and cut lots and lots of the hearts. And I added some of the sequins that were actually in the previous mini, because I hadn't got the new sequins at that stage. But yeah, just to make a little shaker card. Stitched rectangles, more of the paper that I've used on the other card, another piece of designer series paper, and again I did something on the inside, so I've just put a piece of paper on the inside. So that's that. I have got some other ideas that are non-Valentines, so I will be doing those along the way, not today. So this is the stamp set, and you get this nice tag as well. You get the flag that I used for the little tuck. So lots of nice little dies to go with that. I haven't got the Love and Happiness bundle, so we will move on. Equally, I don't have the Gumball Greetings. We've had something similar before. Love shakers. Yeah, I like a shaker card. We have had something very similar to this before. I'm not heavily into gumball machines, so that wasn't on my list, but one of my team has done some amazing projects with that already. Look out for Shani, I think it's Shani27 on Instagram. Good morning, Cheryl from Florida. Nuts and bolts. I have made a card with the nuts and bolts. This has been on my blog posts, but it's a kind of different, it's a bit of a grunge card, but really, really cute. Again, I haven't stamped anything on the inside. This is the white twine and linen thread just shredded. You've got the gumball. Excellent. You can share lots of lovely projects with us. and maybe get the rest of us to get gumballs. These are some of my, still one of my favourite embellishments, which are the elegant, what do we call them? What do we call them? Elegant something, elegant. Anyway, they're in the annual catalogue. Not going to worry about it, but yes, so they're from the annual catalogue. This is the designer series paper from the annual catalogue, and then I just did lots of embossing and scrunching and tearing, and yeah, so that's one of those. So that's nuts and bolts. Flowering fields I have had a bit of a session with, and again, you've seen these before. So I did a simple stamping Saturday a little while ago, and I made simple stepped up again, and this one was made with just one ink pad. So this is just Bermuda Bay, and I have put one of the iridescent rhinestones in the middle. Don't know if you can see that twinkling on the samples. Then this I just cut the pieces, and this I used the stitch triangles, which are in the annual catalogue, and I love doing really bright colours on black. I think it's a really good faceted gems. Thank you, elegant faceted gems. Thank you, Nora. But yes, so you've seen that one before. I think you have seen the other one that I've done. Oh, and this one I did in Gorgeous Grape. So the same idea, but in Gorgeous Grape. You have seen this one before as well. So a little scene with the stamped field ahead of it, and then this is blended. It's a bit of a kind of mix between very crisp stamping and some blending. Love these one. It's on your list. Good. And those who are in my team will get first dibs at how I made one of these, and I will then share the video for, I say first in my team, those who are coming to the retreat will get to make one of these, and then everybody else will get to see the video on how to make one of these. The key is to not bend your sails, but the key is to really not have that brad too tight. But anyway, so that's using the dies, which are amazing, let it be said. I've only just got the flowering tulips, haven't had a chance to play with it yet, but again, those coming on my retreat, my team retreat, will be, it is awesome, Jess, yes. So we'll be doing some tulips on the retreat, and as I say, we'll also be making one of those little windmills. So these are the dies. The papers are gorgeous. Again, if you ordered the paper share, you should be getting it very soon, if not already. And of course, you can use the windmill dies on a card as well. Rainbows I seem to have gone mad for. Are you doing a... I'm doing a retreat for my team, Louise, yes. No, it's a virtual retreat, and it's only for my team. I regularly do a team retreat, so it's on Zoom. So Rainbow of Happiness, I have done so many cards with this. A lot of them have already been posted. You will have seen these ones already. So this was on one of my lives recently. So stamped, die cut, and die cut with the glimmer paper. So those are those, but really go to town with this. Now, the rainbow paper, which is a free celebration item, there are two ways to do this little trick, and I'm sure you know them, but I'm going to do it anyway. Where's the paper? I know I've got a sheet of the rainbow paper. Here we go. So this rainbow paper, you can either die cut it with the dies, or you can die cut like I've done here. So die cut into a blank of paper and then put this behind. So yeah, you don't even have to die cut this. For my customer card kits, I die cut last month, but you don't have to. You can just put it behind the piece of paper. So yeah, I love this. £45 order, you can order a pack of this. So if you order the Rainbow Happiness bundle and some dimensionals, you will be able to get this paper for free. So worth bearing in mind. And these are gorgeous. These are the In Colour Jewels on black. How gorgeous are these? I must just see if you can see how gorgeous they are. I think so, yes. They're picking the... It just shows that colour beautifully. Sorry, it's not brilliantly focused this close up, but yeah. This whole 2-page is coming Monday. Excellent. I haven't ordered the Friends of the Forest yet. I think it'll be coming because I do have the Deer Punch, because the Deer Punch carries over from the last mini catalogue, and the Cloud Punch. The Cloud Punch, let me get my paper back, fits the clouds on this paper. I mean, obviously you can punch them from anything. I know I've got a piece of it because I saw it just now. Oh, how annoying. No, it must be up the front somewhere. Or is it the other side of that? Yes, there it is. It's the other side of this. So this actually fits the punch. So you can punch out your clouds, which is wonderful. And Louise, it's also the sign up for the retreat is closed as well. So yeah. So even if you were in my team, it is unfortunately too late. So that's that page. Now this, I'm going to do a make and take. Well, not a make and take because I'm going to do a make. I have got the Hello Ladybug bundle, which is a punch, and this gorgeous, really cute stamp set. It is very, very cute. So now, just to say, I looked at this and I thought, oh, is that the same size as the medium daisy punch? And sadly it's not, but it's fine. So I have prepped a little bit. I've got a piece of vellum. I've got a piece of card that I'm going to stamp on. I have already punched this from the reverse of one of the abstract, what are they called? Amazing, abstract, amazing, abstract beauty papers, which are 4x6. You're having a ladybug off, are you? Okay. You do have to love a punch. I am very fond of punches. Anyway, so this is where I got the gold stripe from. I've got the punch. I've got some stamps, some ink pads ready to go. And this is going to be the main feature. What I haven't yet got is a card base, but we'll be fine. So I haven't even prepped my stamps. It just sights a little off. Not quite sure what that means. It just sights a little off. I'm not quite sure what you mean, Leslie. So, leaf onto block. Rub it to get the surface off. Cuts. What, the ladybird? Really? Or the cloud? Anywho, whichever. So that's staying for the moment. I've got my Granny Apple Green. Now you can, if you wish, add another colour to this as well. I'm not going to. So you can do two-tone simply by adding your second colour. This is very juicy, this ink pad. But you can add your second colour with a sponge dauber. That looks not too bad. Hello, Brenton. The flower punch. Yes, quite. Well, it's not meant to go with it, which is why it cuts a little off. I'm going to have to move my windmill before I break it. Right, so I've got all sorts of fluff and gumph on this, and it is well inky. And I should have put this onto a piercing mat. The daisy punch, yes, it does. I think I wouldn't actually use it, to be honest with you, because it's so off that it's off. So I've got that stamped. I will fussy cut it in a moment, but I'm going to leave it to dry for a moment and then clean that because it is quite inky still. Pop that back on there. I need to add everything to the inside of my case, really. I am going to stamp the ladybug, purely because I want her head. I'm going to take her head, and I'm actually going to do it in basic grey, so I'm not going black, I'm going basic grey. That will make sense in a moment too. So this needs to be somewhere where I can get the punch. That'll do. So ink her up. Make sure I haven't got anything underneath, and as I say, I just want her head, so I'm not stamping the whole piece. And the basic grey for me is a really nice dark, almost black. Obviously it's not totally black, but it is almost black. It dries a little lighter than it seems at the moment, but it's it is a quite a nice dark colour. And then we'll take our flowers. So I'll deal with those in a moment. I just need a scrap of paper, which is the back of a shipping label, and my Poppy Parade. So what I'm going to do is, this is actually cased from the catalogue. Let me show you. So I'm going to be casing this, not completely, but I'm taking this idea of the swirl of flowers. So the best way to make things look as if they're meant to happen is to take them off the page. So, oops, don't keep them within the piece, take them off the piece that you're stamping. Didn't stamp that very well, it's fine, we'll be able to cover it up. So there we go, we've got a sort of corner, if you like. That's my Poppy Parade. So I'm not going to worry about what's happened there, because I know that I've got bits that can go on top. So the only other thing I need is, let's see, I think I'll do "You Can Bug Me Anytime" as a sentiment. Got ink on my block. Again, just rub that to get the finish off. And I will need a strip of Whisper White, which I will grab in a moment. But for now, I'm going to grab, let's see, what colour card base shall I use? I might use Daffodil Delight, I think. I haven't used a Daffodil Delight card base for a while. So, one sheet of Daffodil Delight. My trimmer. So I'm going to score this in the middle and then cut it in half at 10.5 centimetres. Obviously I'm using International A4. So this is going to go on here, and as in the catalogue, they've put it on a little crooked. I quite like a little crooked, so long as it is very obviously crooked, so I wouldn't put it on. That is actually crooked, but to me that needs to be a little bit more. I mean, not a huge amount more, probably about there. I'm going to cover this up with the leaf, and then we're going to have our ladybird and our sentiment. So let me grab some adhesive. Ooh, try not to put the box on the floor with all my samples in it. So making sure it looks meant. Don't need the stamps out on my desk anymore. Well, I need them on my desk, but not in my face, if you like. So I need the punch. Hello, Bex. So let's just punch that out. And I'll be doing some surgery on that in a moment. But in the meantime, I'm going to do surgery on this. I'm going to just rough cut it first. I find it much easier to rough cut first rather than handling the whole thing. Now, you could use dies from one of the later sets, which we'll come to, which have got some leaves in if you don't want to fussy cut. In fact, any leaf you can use, but I do like this leaf. I think it's got that same slightly cartoon-esque look to it. So I know I say this every time I fussy cut. Move the card, not the scissors. All the scissors need to do is open and close. So Brenton, I think I'm right in saying that you've basically got all of the celebration items in South Pacific now. Is that right? I know you've got an extension of celebration, which is fantastic and well deserved. So yes, am I right in thinking you've got all of the bits now? You love this collection. Good, glad to hear it, Bex. My ladybug set has arrived and I'm looking forward to these. Yes, everything's good. Fantastic. I'm so pleased, Brenton. And Pam, I'm really pleased that your bits have arrived. You really can't go wrong with a ladybug, particularly as you can basically use it for any bug. Just change the colours, which is basically what I'm going to be doing with this one. So there's my leaf. I can use this for my sentiment. So again, I'm going to use the basic grey because then it's the same colour as the head. And we will be doing surgery on the head in a moment. So you can bug me anytime. Now I should mention that I have a silicone mat underneath my grid paper, so there is a little bit of give. Otherwise, if you have a problem getting a clean stamp with photopolymer, then use this piercing mat. Excellent, Brenton. I'll be looking out on your Instagram feed for lots of bugs. These are the only bugs that Bex likes. I can understand that. Now we're just going to have to accept that this hasn't got a white line round it. It's fine. We can be that adult. You know, it's fine. What I will do, however, is trim those corners off. So basically I've just gone straight across. So what I am going to do is, I am going to cut that out in a moment. I'm going to grab my scrap of paper. We don't need that. And I'm going to grab my This is the light black, I know. And all I'm going to do, now you could do this with a Stampin' Write marker, and it would actually wipe off the gold. I'm just going up to the gold and allowing the paper to do what paper does so well, which is bleed. So it bleeds under the gold. If that makes sense. Hope it does. Now, I saw this idea somewhere. Brenton, it may be one of your ideas, because I know you have a lot of amazing things. Very well worthwhile looking at his Instagram feed. Brenton, could you put your Instagram tag onto the comments? Because it's well worth following his feed. He's got some amazing ideas. You're doing a secret project with this set. I bet I know what it is. Hello, Jan from Florida. I'm thinking it might be something late in February, Leslie. Would I be right? Possibly. In which case, I'm really looking forward to seeing some things done with it. But yes, Brenton, if you wouldn't mind putting up your Instagram tag so that people can find you, I would be really, really pleased. Haha! I thought I might have guessed right. So this is then going to pop on top there. I'm actually going to put the grey or the light black. How you can have light black, I don't know. Just there, so that there isn't an obvious line. Right, okay, so we need a little adhesive. So I'm just going to pop some adhesive on the antenna, just a little bit, and then drag it down. So a blob that's then dragged. Brenton's being shy. But I love his Instagram feed. It may just be crafting down under, I don't know. So that's our bug, but of course a bug needs wings. So I've got a piece of vellum. It's just at, and then whatever it is, so I'm at Liz Yuille Old Stables Crafts. And whether you've got any underscores or anything, that's all. Simple as. So that's our wings, which go just there. I should really have shaped that a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach that with a glue dot, and then I'm going to pop something over the top. I'm thinking, if that's all it is, just your name, that's easy enough then. So a glue dot goes just there, and as you can probably see, that, oh, pinged my nail varnish, that is really obvious. So we want to hide it, which is really easy. We just grab. Good, Jess has found you, Brenton, so that means that it worked. So I'm going to use one of the matte black dots from the annual catalogue. We do have some matte dots in the mini as well that go with the Heart and Home suite, but I'm just going to use that one there. So that is our little bug. So all we've got to do is pop that on our card, get our sentiment and our leaf. So I'm going to have the leaf covering up that bad stamping. the bug covering up that bad stamping, and then that just... Oops, sorry, something dropped on the floor. Knowing me, I will skid on it if I don't do something about it, so I have done something about it. So I'm just going to trim this short, and then I can trim it that way. Praying that it's straight, and it is. It's actually straight. Thank you, Nora. Oh, thank you. You don't have this set yet. Ooh. It's an exciting set, but don't just think ladybugs, is all I would say. Right, so I'm going to put this flat onto my base. Then I'm going to pop up my ladybug. Although in the UK we call them ladybirds, but it's not actually a ladybug anyway, because it's more of a bee. So some dimensionals for her. Him, her, it, probably only need a couple, and then some for the back of my sentiment. Use some minis for the back of the sentiment, just 3 I think. There we go. So I'm going to have this first. Oh, still got one on my finger. So I'm going to have that to fill that space. But I want that straight, which is always a tricky thing when you've got something that's crooked, but that looks pretty straight. And then this can go on the leaf to cover up the not very good stamping on the leaf. Like that. And there you have a non-ladybird card, cased from the catalogue. I see spiders for Halloween, absolutely. So there we go. That is my first make of this session using Hello Ladybug and the matching punch. I love a matching punch. Now, top tip, when you get your punches, find some old paper. Shipping labels are great from Stampin' Up, and punch a few times because you'll probably find there's a bit of grease on the punch. You need to win the lottery, don't we all? So, Hello Ladybug, tick. Right, so we now have a sample for Hello Ladybug. So back to the catalogue. I have not got Wildflower Path. So, sorry, no samples with that. Symbols of Fortune, no samples, sorry, but the paper. Now, Brenton definitely shared some stunning makes with this. So please go and have a look at his feed, because they're definitely. Paradise Palms I do not have yet. And I don't have Bough and Blossoms yet, but I do have Easter Friends. And I have 2, no, I thought I had 2 samples, no, just 1. So this is what I have made for my sample for Easter Friends. So I've used some of the reverse of the Hello Friend paper, which is one of the freebies. Leslie's found Brenton as well, good. So this is one of the Hello Friend freebie papers. This ribbon is in the mini, as are these little butterflies, which are gorgeous. And then I've coloured my bunny with, basically this is crumb cake, but I started by putting down a layer of one of the new neutrals, which is, I've used SU 1000, which is the very pale one of these. These are coming in February. I think I'm right in saying it's in February. And you can get all sorts of skin tones, and they're amazing. But don't just use them for skin tones. Oh, thank you, Brenton. Poppy Parade and Daffodil Delight is a really good mix. Leslie's found you as well. Thank you, Jess. It's Bex's favourite stamp set. Joe has found Brenton as well. Good. Thank you, Brenton. It is gorgeous. Jan has got this stamp. I'm not surprised. Thank you, Mary. I have to say, it kept me going for a while because I wanted to get it just right. I wanted that little pink nose, but it started with the 1000 all over the back. I have coloured the other images. I just haven't made them into cards yet. So this is my duck. I have friends who keep ducks. Unfortunately, one of theirs has recently had to be put down because it wasn't at all well. And they are brown. Their ducks are brown. And then these are the little chicks. So this, again, is mostly the neutrals. The neutral blends are amazing. Sorry, I'm just trying to squint at the sentiments, the comments. And then these are the little chicks. So I will be making these into cards. I just haven't had time. But they are gorgeous. Such fun. But yeah, the bunny is my favourite. And the sentiments are so sweet. But what they've done here I think is lovely, which is basically, so this is a stay simple or step it up. So they're showing how you can take things from simple through a bit more stepped up through to even more stepped up. So really great to see them. Reminds me of the ugly duckling who turned into a swan. Absolutely. Oh, and while I remember, sorry, I'm pushing my mouse around. If you're enjoying yourself, do give me a thumbs up. That would be fantastic. And if you don't already follow, that would be great too. So yes, do have a look at the samples in the catalogue because there are some great ideas. I haven't got the garden greenhouse yet, but I think B has got it. Super adorable. They are just gorgeous, Brenton. So I haven't got that yet. I mean, let's face it, I'll probably end up with the whole catalogue. Jan has found Brenton as well. Excellent. So Flowering Rain Boots bundle, I have had a little bit of a play with, and I have basically cased these cards. Because if I get a new stamp set and I don't know where to start, casing the cards is always, for me, a good place to start. So I have got this, which is my version of this card in the, oops, can you see it, in the top left corner. So this is basic grey again, love my basic grey. Then I've got basic grey blended through one of the masks, which we will be coming to do my background. This on Smoky Slate. This is the Smoky Slate ribbon from the annual catalogue. Then I've stamped Live Life in Full Bloom in basic grey. This is Mango Melody on a Mango Melody like matte on a white card, and then I've got some of the metallic pearls just to pop around. So that's my version of this card in the top left. So, well, it's a sort of combination of that and that. So, yeah, combination card. Then my absolute lift of this card is this one. But obviously I've changed it up. So I've done Poppy Parade, Granny Apple Green, and for some reason I went for So Saffron rather than Daffodil Delight. Don't ask me why. And then this is So Saffron with Early Espresso stamped. And we're on a Sahara Sand, I think, matte. Yes, Sahara Sand matte. And then this is just Balmy Blue and Sahara Sand with an almost dry water painter just across the back. So, yeah. Yours is... Oh, thank you, Jess. Thank you. And Jan, thank you. So that's my next one. And then my final sample is this one, which is a cross between that one and that one. So I've got a piece of vellum here. This is the craft card from the annual catalogue. I have cut it with one of the dies in the set, so you get this line of sort of trellis. But I put adhesive sheet behind, so it's easy to then put it together. And then I've just cut Every Storm That Comes Also Ends. This is in Real Red. Cajun Craze Old Olive. This is Old Olive with one of the new embossing folders, the one with the stripes and drops. I love it as well, Nora. And then I've got some of the pebbles here, which I lifted from this card. So yeah, and then just one of the flower pots coming off the edge of the card. So that's that one. And this I just tore my old olive so that it was a bit of a raggedy edge. So that's those. I'll pop those back in my box. And now I did have, but I made it for a neighbour, a sample of the Kite Delight. But I love this set. It is really well worth having a look at. And it's only £17. So photopolymer, really, really nice stamp set. So now this I've not played with at all. The ribbon that I used for the rabbit card is this one. It's the white frayed ribbon. I haven't got the Artfully Layered, and I'm going to have it because I've seen so many amazing projects with it. So Artfully Layered will be coming to a demonstrator near you very soon. Dahlia Days bundle I do have. I have made a card with it, which is this one. So I've taken the big die, the background die, which cuts, and I must make a card with it. This is what it cuts. Let me grab some black so you can see. I might have to make it into a card. In fact, I might have to make it into a card now. In fact, I will. So I'm going to make this into a card now. Hadn't planned it, but. So I'll explain how I made this card and then we'll come back to this. So I just cut a mat out of the white card that you get at the back of your designer series paper. The paper in this set is it's wonderful, isn't it? In the Artfully Layered, yes. So I've then taken this stamp here and I've used my Stampin' Right markers, and I've used Evening Evergreen and Polished Pink, because I've used Evening Evergreen and Polished Pink for my blending. This is the Polished Pink ribbon, and then I've got Evening Evergreen in colour jewels here. So yeah, so that's the card I've made, but I am going to have to make a card from this because it's just too nice not to. So I've got that, which should be the right width but may not be the right length, and I'm going to make a really simple card. This is unplanned. I just happen to have, I made this is the Fluid 100 paper, so I just happen to have it lying around waiting to be made into a card, so let's do that. Goes in there. Right, now the colours I used, what did I use? I want to say I used Soft Seafoam and So Saffron. Don't hold me to it. Do you sell your crafts? If so, how do you package them? I don't specifically. I give them to local charities to sell, but if you want to package them, you can use our acrylic boxes, which will take about 6 cards, depending on how many layers you've got. So I'm going to use a Soft Seafoam matte, or a So Saffron. I might go So Saffron. Which I think I might, well, what I'm going to do is grab my mats and see what I've got. Soft Seafoam. There we go. Oh, I could do, let's have a look. We'll have a little look and see which one we prefer. So I tend to make, just to make, really. That's not the way around I want it that way around. So do I want that on black? This needs to be cut down. Or do I think I want the yellow. I think the yellow's got more pop. Yes, definitely So Saffron. But otherwise, see, in the UK, the medium envelopes don't work for us. Just going to cut my mat down a tiny bit. But otherwise, if I was in the US, as you are, I would use the medium envelopes because those would be perfect. I mean, you can get similar in the UK, but they're fairly naff, if naff works across the waters. So this needs to be, yay, width. That's going to be too small to do anything with, so we'll throw that away. Get rid of my cutting blade before I cut my card, because I actually want to score it. So this is my card base, and I always give it a really good score. So all I did to do this was on a slick surface, I put some ink down. So I put the yellow in the middle, and I say, I think it's So Saffron. Let's have a look. Looks like So Saffron. Then some green around the outside, spritzed it, and just plonked the thing into it. I had die cut this first, but you could die cut it afterwards if you so desire. So the key, of course, is going to be getting it onto here. So I'm going to do the easy bits first, which are to add the layers to my card base. Hello, Suzanne. Yes, we're going to be at it until 4 o'clock, so there's plenty still to see. We've got another hour and a bit to go. And I'm linking this to the post that I put up yesterday, which was the post to say I'm going to be doing a live, and then what I'll do is I will embed this video into that post. And then over the coming weeks, I will share these samples as posts. Any that I haven't already shared, of course. And do remember, if you're enjoying yourself, thumbs up is always welcome. So I'm going to find some of the bigger areas just to add a little bit of liquid adhesive. Which is fairly straightforward to do. Now, if you've got any bits that are a bit sticky-outy, they probably need a little bit of adhesive as well, because otherwise they'll catch. But I love this set. I was a bit in two minds because we had the Dahlias in Celebration recently, but I've seen so many amazing projects with this. I just couldn't resist. Thank heavens for the demo discount, that's all I can say. Right. And turn it over and press. Actually, there's 12 now, Jan. I don't know why only 4 are showing, but I can see 13. Yay! But thank you. Right, so all I'm going to do now is a sentiment, and I think I'm going to do my sentiment on black card in white. I quite like You Are Beyond Incredible. Of course, I do need to go and get the stamp set, which fortunately I had in order-ish. I haven't actually finished setting this up yet, but it's fine. I will just go with the flow. Right, so grab some black scrap. That'll be about right. That might be even more right. Yep, that will be even more right. Okay, so this is really on the wing. And white embossing powder. So, grab a block. Don't need that one. Now, as ever, I've put this on crooked. Oh, how odd, Barbara, that only one like is showing. How strange. Anyway, thank you for those of you who have given a thumbs up. So this is crooked, just saying. So I'm going to have this is straight and the top is less so. So yes, I tend to put my sentiments on my blocks crooked so that I have more chance of actually stamping it straight. Actually, I'm going to go in a bit. Bex has 17 likes. Oh, that's interesting because I've only got 16.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Sorry, that was my smart speaker. We got all excited on Friday because none of our smart speakers worked, and then we realised it was a problem with that particular smart speaker, as in the brand had gone offline. Right, so we'll heat up my gun. And just bringing, that might actually fit. So don't need that anymore. Now, do always make sure, 20 now, 19, 20. You see, I've only got 19, but it's fine. I do always make sure that this is dry, my heat embossing is dry before I do anything with it, because otherwise you can end up smudging your heat embossing. Ooh, that's a little bit close to the bottom, but it's fine. There we go. Not perfectly positioned, but it will do. So this is going to just pop down here on some black dimensionals, because you've got to love a black dimensional. Just a couple of those, and then I'm going to add some of the iridescent rhinestones. Yep, right way. And I will obviously add a white liner to the card. So, iridescent rhinestones. I've recently taken everything off their backings so that I can get them all into my little tub. Where's my iridescent rhinestones? I know there they are. I can see them. So this is one of the now retired wide stamp cases. But I think the iridescent rhinestones will work quite nicely on here, because I think, whoops, being black as a base will help make it bling a bit. No. Right, I'm going to come back with a small one there. And actually, I'm going to go all the way up there and then grab some. So I'm going to pop a small one just in that space there, and then so there we are. That is my final. Thank you. Marlene is joining from Wisconsin. Thank you. So there we are. Iridescent rhinestones. Love them. They were in one of the kits, and I can't remember which one it was, but I have seen them before and I loved them then, and they are gorgeous. So there we are. So that's another with the Dahlia Days. So let's pop that in and see what else we've got. I haven't got the flowering flowers yet. These you need a really dry ink pad for. You don't want anything too juicy or they're going to look a bit weird. Right, daffodils I do have, which you've seen before. So I made these two. Again, iridescent rhinestones to the fore. And then this I made after the live where I made this, just with the leftover bits. Love them! And then I've also done one using the free paper. Hello, Nick from Utah. Thank you. My gems jump from one sheet to another in the night, so they're partying. So yes, so that's daffodils. Seize the day, not my idea. It's nice, it's just not me. Again, you've seen these two before, but these are oceanfront. And I've combined them with, I want to say the New Horizons suite, but anywho. And the paper at the back is the Marvelous paper, which I didn't like and now I love, and I'm using it on pretty much everything. So that's oceanfront. Then we have Amazing Silhouettes, which I have used. I've made one whole card with. There we go. One whole card. Ooh, that's in the wrong place. Ooh, that's right. Sorted. So this was polished pink on polished pink on polished pink. But this is just gorgeous, and I love the thanks for the daffodil card is from the bundle. So you get thank you are amazing, thanks you are amazing, and you get it with the shadow as well as the fine detail. So yeah, gotta love that. Then Eden's Garden, which of course we've seen for ages. Have I made any samples? Not many. Again, I did a simple stamping Saturday, so I had simple stepped up. This obviously uses some of the paper that is now retired and gems that are now retired. So, but the dies are still here, and obviously the stamp set. So that's Eden's Garden. But I love that in the catalogue they've gone to completely different colours. So, New Horizons. The paper is in Europe. Yay! It arrived earlier than it was supposed to arrive. Then it was pushed back. Then it was pushed back another week, and now then it arrived earlier than we thought. But it has arrived. I have ordered it. So those of you who have got product shares, it'll be coming very soon. But obviously it means I haven't made any samples with it. I did use some of the On the Horizon elements for my oceanfront cards. So let's grab. So I used the trees and this. Oh no, that was from the oceanfront, but the trees I used from this set. So. But I love this paper. I can't wait to get my hands on it. Eclectic Garden, I am loving. Just saying. Have you got it yet, Brenton? Or is it still on the way to your neck of the woods? So, Eclectic Garden may not be everyone's taste, but I am loving it. So this is my take on, again, case of the catalogue. On this one, but I've gone Melon Mambo, which used to be our bright pink, and Granny Apple Green, and then I've done the same as they've done here, so I just don't know what I'd do without you, but then I've done a flag with the stitched greenery on vellum. This is the crinkle white ribbon that I've dyed with the light Melon Mambo. Haven't got it yet, it's coming. Well, fingers crossed it arrives really soon. And then these are some of the silver and clear from the annual catalogue. So that's that one. This was one that I just did. So I've used the same idea as... Oh, no, they didn't. I thought they had. So I've made a background using the artichoke, and it's soft succulent on soft succulent. Then I've stamped in the middle and coloured with soft succulent and blackberry bliss. Stamped in blackberry bliss, and then I've used the encircling dies from the annual for these two layers. So this is the shimmer vellum, this one soft succulent, and then this is just vellum that I've coloured on the back with the rich raspberry, blackberry bliss, whichever one it is that we've got now, and that's on the back to get that colour. And then this one is my idea of this one. So I've taken the idea of the way it's been coloured loosely with lots of dots around, more of the marvellous paper, and I've just done everything basically pool party, apart from this, which is soft suede, and these are from the holiday gems. So yeah, so that's those ones. So yes, great for garden lovers, but also for, you know, anyone really. And I like the idea that they've got these splodges that you can use to colour things. So that's that one. We'll be coming to Gentle Waves momentarily. Don't have yet. Oops. Abstract Beauty I am loving. Absolutely gorgeous. And I have got a make and take, well, not a make and take, but a make. So this is my interpretation of, it was one of these. Maybe it's over the page. Maybe it's over the page. Yes, it is. So it's my interpretation of this one. But it's using the lovely, it's the 4x6 paper, which I love. And then the matching dies, the Hello Beautiful dies. Sorry, Beautiful Shapes dies. And then some of the hexagon shapes. It's just so easy to put together. I mean, how is this not one of the easiest cards you've ever seen? It's a bit of stamping and some die cutting. So that's that one. But let me bring in my make and take, which I have hidden. Where did I hide it? Oh, under that. There we go. Here we go. So I am going to case this card, which is this one here. I'm going to be using quite a lot of the ephemera pack. So let me just pop that to one side. Ooh, and I've just realised I've got one of the ladybug sentiments still out, and I've got that still out. Bear with me while I just put things away before I forget that I've got them. So that was that, and then this, which I need to clean, goes with my dahlias. Otherwise I'll get all confuffled. It's on your list. I'm not surprised, Brenton. It is gorgeous. And I'm loving that there's Memories and More with it, which makes it just so easy. So, my adhesive backed hexagons, white card base. This is from the ephemera pack, that's from the ephemera pack, that's from the ephemera pack, that's just a circle, and this is the reverse of the paper that I used on the previous card. So the first thing I want to do is clear the decks a wee bit. I will need to do some stamping on some of those bits. So with this, I'm going to do some stamping on the background just to get some colour on. So I want that one, and that one, and that one will be enough, I think. So, 1, 2, Now, the colours in the paper are, bear with me, many and various. Magenta Madness, Blushing Bride, Pumpkin Pink Pie, Crushed Curry, Just Jade, Night of Navy, and others. And Balmy Blue, Misty Moonlight, Night of Navy, Pumpkin Pie. Yeah, so we've got, it's Balmy Blue basically is the extra one. So what I'm going to do is grab my crushed curry to start with, and a piece of scrap paper, which should be under here still, yes. Right, a piece of scrapped paper, and I'm going to ink up. I am going to bring in my piercing mat. So this will end up that way, but I want to just, I want to get that middle bit out a bit better. There we go. So I'm going to go that side. Are we on camera? Just about. So we've got that. Then don't need that anymore. I'm going to bring in Magenta Madness. Clean this off. Now Magenta Madness is obviously very, 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 very bright. We don't want it to very, 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 very bright, so we're going to stamp it off well and bring that in over, actually I'm going to turn it over, bring that in over there, like that. Oh, it's got a hair on it. Never mind, some of it's going to be covered up. And surprise, surprise, it is now slightly pink. Don't actually need to take this off because I'm not going to use it again. Whoops. Balmy Blue. And again, I'm going to stamp it off because we're going for that look. But I'm not going to be quite so hard on the stamping off. I'm actually going to bring that in again over here, overlapping. So that's Balmy Blue. So what other colour should we add in? Let's do some Just Jade as well. Oh, Joe. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but yeah, I know the feeling. So Just Jade. And again, I'm going to stamp it off reasonably well, but that wasn't. And overlap both the blue and the crushed curry. And again, I'll bring that over there. Right, so just a bit of colour for the background. No rhyme nor reason particularly for why I went for where I went. I'm vaguely looking at the card that I'm taking it all from, but only vaguely. Just clean those off, get them out of the way, and get rid of that. So that is our base. I'm going to add it to the front of my card, and I've cut it so that it's still the 4-inch width, and I've just trimmed a tiny bit off the bottom. I've trimmed this much off the bottom because this is what I took off the first card, and we're going to use it again for this one, which is one of the reasons I wanted Balmy Blue specifically as one of my colours, because it brings the Balmy Blue in. Now, if you're a bit worried about putting adhesive onto your paper, you can put it onto your card instead. It's a very, very narrow, it's a very, very narrow edge. So you could just go to almost to the edge of your card base and add the glue there. You're on your phone, Una. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. Right, so that's that. I am going to need a sentiment at some point, so I might as well not get rid of that completely. So the next thing I want to pop down is my little bit of gold, which is going to go kind of there, cleverly covering up the hair. Now you could pop this up. If I wasn't doing this live, I would probably pop it up, but it's going to take a lot of dimensional pulling and pushing and debacking, so for the sake of speed, not doing it. So as I say, let's cleverly cover up that hair like that, and I'm not going to push down completely just yet because I want this to go underneath and on top. I'm going to trim its end just a little bit because I don't want it going all the way across. So that's better. So going to pop that bit underneath like that, and then that can go on top, and I'm just going to add some adhesive to the end like that. So long as the ends are stuck, the middle will look after itself. We've then got our circle, our heart. Now they put the strip over the circle as well, I'm not going to. And then I need a sentiment to go into this, which is going to go there. But I think I'll put it there so we can see some more of the gold underneath. And of course there's a pip. I thought I had depipped. Right, so none of the sentiments actually fit. Just saying. 4x6 paper is very handy and great if you scrapbook as well. Absolutely. Thank you, Marlene. As I say, straight out of the catalogue. So what they've done is they've taken the I miss your face and done I miss you. We've also got so happy, which would work quite nicely. I think I'm going to go so happy. Let me take these off their blocks, and then I can use one of the blocks. And I love stamp sets with splodges because you can make up your own background. Well, hair is still there. I'm going to take it off at some point. Right, so I just want so happy, so I'm going to grab a post-it note. Other self-adhesive whatnots are available. And I'm going to go with basic grey again because it does a nice solid stamp. But I've got my post-it note in place. It's actually a sticky note, or sticks note. Stickies note, apparently. So I'm going to ink this up as well as I can. Apparently is not very. Inking up the post-it note quite nicely. Let's pop that in the bin. And then so happy. So happy. That back, and right, so I'm going to stick this up on dimensionals. So that's going to go there, so we can see the bottom of the frame. This I'm just going to add with some adhesive on top. Going off the edge? No. Could go off the edge. Might actually go off the edge a little bit. And then this goes just there. So we can still see the blue. So we need a dimensional on the back there. And a little bit of adhesive. There we go. So we've got the blue covered up by the, or the edge of the blue covered up by the point, etc., etc. So now we just need to add some of our hexagons. I'm going to go with the jade because I think it will be a surprise to go with the jade. I'm going to come in. Actually, no. I'm going to go there. That one. And tuck that one in just there. And then a large one there. So one of my triangles. I like my triangles. So there we go. That is our finished card. So I can put that in with the other one. Right, okay, gosh, we've got 35 minutes left. So I have quite a few for this one, which you have seen. So I've got all the greens. This is actually evening evergreen embossing. I will show you that at some point. White with evening evergreen. This is the Heart and Home flower, as is that on one of the slimline cards. You Are One of a Kind die cut, and these are actually from the Eden Garden gems. It is a very 80s vibe, very 80s vibe. And then again, some of the Eden's Garden gems, and Happy For You, which is from the Slim Saying stamp set, just fussy cut. So that's those. What I haven't done is anything with this die yet. I'm sure it will come. So that's that. I don't have the best delivery yet. I have that, haven't made anything with it yet. Bragworthy is brilliant. I think I've got some Bragworthy in some of the other cards. Now, this frame is the frame we've just used, but it's coloured. So do think about colouring anything that's white. And these are the Stripes and Splatters embossing folders that I used on the rain boots. This is the Sam Hammond $1 Million Achiever stamp set, which I don't have. In the moment, I do have, and again, I think you may have seen these before, but Marvellous. Really easy, just basic grey, and then some more of the clear and silver epoxy dots. This is white embossing with a white watercolour pencil. Pam is joining us from Australia. Yay! And this is basically soft suede. This is the fine art ribbon from the annual catalogue, and I've just picked up the Relax from one of the sentiments on both of them. I love these though. The samples are great. So this is the Heart and Home Suite, which I have one whole card from, which is this one, which I've lifted from the catalogue. It was this one. I did it on a live. Really love this suite. Really love it. So very worthwhile having a look at. And you get 2 stamp sets. I've only used 1 so far. But yeah, that's that. So these are the 2 stamp sets, the Blessings of Home and the Honeybee. The embossing folder is amazing, just saying. Right, every chapter you will have seen one, probably, my Simple Stamping Saturday, which was this one. So that was the simple version with watercolour pencils, with blends, with the reverse of some of the home paper. And then this is with lots of layers. So that's that. But I've done another one. Because I remember when I did this, I said I would like to work out how I could do it without using the words. And the answer is this. Hello, Mary. The replay will be there. And we've got, Gian from Oregon. So I used a Stampin' Right marker and just avoided anything that was words. And then I've used, I happen to have, that I've had for years, this is a Versamark watermark pen, so it's full of Versamark, but you could use one of our blender pens and just dip it into the Versamark re-inker and then use it as a pen. So that's how I've done this fine detail with the gold embossing. But I have to say I had great fun doing this. Please don't ask me what colours they were because I can't remember. But how did I do it? This. So yes, with the Stampin' Right marker. So I just coloured the outline and missed the words. And as I say, then a Versamark pen. But a blender pen would work. There's a bit of a delay as well, Brenton, so, you know, who knows. But yes, then all the, well, lots of blends. This is, again, using the neutrals. And I use the neutrals for the pages as well. The neutrals are going to be really helpful. I do suspect that we're going to lose the bronze and ivory blends. But that's just my guess, because the neutrals will take their place. But anyway, so there we are. That's that. Then I have got Catch You Later. So I've got I'll Catch You Later, Dear Friend, with the cat. And this has got the gingham embossing folder in the back. Absolutely great for teachers, Jan. So this is Pool Party, Seaside Spray for the bowl. So Pool Party Light, Pumpkin Pie, obviously, Seaside Spray for the bowl, and then just shades of the greys running out. Eek. Oh, absolutely. The neutrals are amazing. I mean, I know I keep saying it, but they are amazing. So I've done myself a little crib, and I'm just calling them 1 through 10 as opposed to 100 through 1,000, and just numbered them. And I've got them on my rack in order because you can then see which colours they are. So 10 is a beautiful pale pink, for example. Oh, that's not what I want. So that's the first one, and then I did this one, which was Happy Birthday from Us. I don't know why I put Happy Birthday from Us, but hey, it doesn't feel like it. And this is the macrame embossing folder, and pale papaya. So this is cinnamon cider and pale papaya, basically. So that's those two. And I love this idea of doing the weaving. That would look great with strips of designer series paper. You know, those annoying strips you end up with. Happy hedgehogs. I have happy hedgehogs. I do. Except I don't have a hedgehog. So I've got the tree and the toadstool, which I used a lot of the neutrals to colour. So I used the neutrals, pale papaya, and Poppy Parade, and then I added Granny Apple Green for the leaves and the grass. And then these are some of those polished gems that we've got, which are gorgeous. And this is the reverse of the don't know what that's the reverse of. It's a paper anyway. Hey ho. I think it might be the Hello paper. In fact, it is. It's the Hello Friend paper. And then I've done this one, which is with the little bird and the butterfly. And then we've got the rainbow paper, so the sunshine and rainbows, and the marvellous again, with the ribbon from the amazing, beautiful, amazing, whatever that sweet is that I can't remember now. Abstract Beauty, that's the one. So yes, I had fun with those. But yeah, so really pretty. And I do love the little hedgehog. I have got somewhere, I did have a hedgehog, and it never quite got on the card. There we are. That's the hedgehog with the punch. So that's Sahara Sand and Crumb Cake, but stamped Sahara Sand on Sahara Sand and Soft Suede on Crumb Cake. So for the masks, I don't have Celebrating You, but I did do some with the masks. So you may remember that I did embossing with the masks. So this was the positive and this was the negative. So I used Versamark through my mask and then used the mask as a stamp. So those were those two. And I ran the mask through my embossing machine so that it really pushed the Versamark in. Something's just come up that I don't want there. And then this was again Versamark through the butterfly mask and then heat embossed, and then through that again and more heat embossing. So that's those. That I did on a live. So I do not have the Biggest Fan stamp set. I have just bought, literally just ordered the sports event dies because I think they're good for anything. Let's Set Sail I have done. These were in my card kits for my customers this last month, so for December. This would be the marvellous paper again, and then the punch. So this is just out of Misty Moonlight with the birds and Let Your Dreams Set Sail, just split, which obviously for the card kits didn't have that because I can't send stamped images. I don't have Wildlife Wonder yet, but I probably will end up getting it because I think it is gorgeous, great for masculine cards. I have Home and Garden but didn't manage to get anything made for today, sorry. I have Brave Vikings, and this is where the Ocean Waves comes in, because this is the Ocean Waves background stamp, and then the Viking ship with the adhesive blue gems. And then I've taken a Viking to You. I did in white embossing. So this is in Balmy Blue, I think. Yes, Balmy Blue. And I extended it up. I needed to do some extra waves, so I just turned it round and stamped it at the top as well. Not very well. And this, which I thought was going to show up on the Balmy Blue, didn't. So I used Misty Moonlight to just bring it out a little bit, which works really well just to pop it out a bit. So that's that one. And then, did you skip a Cactus Cuties? I did, which means I skipped something else, but I don't have any samples with Cactus Cuties, but I will go back and have a look because that means I missed something else as well. So this is the Viking Lady, and this is the splashes from the Splashes and Stripes. I actually embossed it on white, and then this is just coloured with blends, rather than having to feed it through the embossing machine a bazillion times. And then some of the rainbow paper on the background. So that's that. And then, and I should have used an embossing folder in the background. Here's my Viking. And again, I've used quite a lot of the neutrals with Evening Evergreen and Misty Moonlight, and then some of the greys. But basically, the browns are all from the neutrals. So I will come back to the cuties, the Cactus Cuties, but just to finish off, we've got For the Record, which I've done this one. So I've taken this diagonal stamp and I've coloured it in rainbow colours. You can't see behind it, but I've coloured it in rainbow colours, and again I've got some of the clear and silver shapes. This is black embossing, Poppy Parade and Bermuda Bay, both light, and then black with white embossing, and no U. It's not English, it's American. Sorry for those of you in America, but it's American. So it's Poppy Parade card base, black matte on white, and just with that strip across the back. But there is also, and I will go back to the cactus, I will, but there is also, not to be missed, and I've got some celebration things to do as well. There's also the mischievous mice. I don't have the expressions of friendship, but I do have mischievous mice, and this is the one that I have made for mischievous mice. So it's a layered piece of the Swiss cheese with the tail coming through from underneath, particularly if the glue would stick, and our little mouse, and then lots of linen thread, and I've stuck this down with just little dabs of multi-purpose glue, and this is on So Saffron with basic grey background and So Saffron and Pale Papaya, and then again this is I want to say this is the neutrals again, but I can't remember. So yes, don't forget the poster set. Right, so cactus, the index at the back here is now in alphabetical order, which makes it so much easier. Cactus, page 66. There we go. Yes, I missed page 66. Sorry, but I haven't done any samples yet. How did you punch the holes? I didn't. I fussy cut them. Brenton, you're going to do some amazing things with it, I'm sure. So I just fussy cut them. So I stabbed my snips and then just fussy cut them, because I like fussy cutting. So that is the mini. A quick trot through the mini. So now we have our celebration. So, Island Vibes I do have, because I did that on Thursday, I want to say. So we've got Island Vibes, lots of garden green. These are loose. I've deliberately kept them loose. So they're just stuck down here. This is the faux suede trim with the little bonsai tree, and for someone who is wonderful in each and every way, which comes from one of the other sets which we will come to. I've got black on there, never mind. That is what I need my mono eraser for, because you can just rub it out. I love these sand erasers. With a little bit of work that will come out beautifully. So this is the pineapple. So this was the one I did before the live, and this is the one we did on the live. And then again the pineapple, making tone on tone paper and fussy cut or just tagged. So that's that set. Thank you, Gian. Then I've shown you one of the cards with the daffodils, but just as a reminder, whoops, let's throw it on the floor. That's using the daffodil paper and the thanks from the amazing thanks. Vanilla background. Yay! Gotta love a vanilla background. Then I've got that but haven't used it yet. Driving by, I do have some samples. That one's a Christmas one, but it works perfectly. And then that one, which again used one of the stamp sets from Christmas, I think. So that's those two. But lots of ideas for that. Patty Bennett has done dressing up the VW van using designer series paper. So you stamp it on there and fussy cut. The rainbow paper I am loving. I've shown you some of that already. The Simply Marvellous you have seen lots of. Do you know I haven't actually made a Lotta card yet? Bye, Una. The Friendly Hello. I made this one last week. So, yes. Oh, it was the Friendly Hello paper that I used on that background, but I thought it was. So this is basically fresh freesia with fresh freesia. And just a little pop of colour there. And that brings me to the end of my samples. Do remember the special moments, which is the sentiment I used for that card, is one of those sentiments. It's a great sentiment set. I mean, stunning sentiment set. And you can see lots of examples of how you can dress that up. And the Calming Camellia, again, really lovely. We've got some time, so I am going to bring out my Calming Camellia, which I haven't used yet. But you can see I haven't used it. So I'm going to bring out that really big stamp and a really big block. So, and I love that there's a swirl. So if you like Sam Hammond's stamp set, but you don't want lots of swirls, this has got a swirl. Now, this is the set that you get if you place a large order. You get it free. I think it's £275. It is, or €375. But it is free. And we like free. I mean, we like free anyway. Hello, Beverly. You're joining us near the end, but you are very welcome. Now, I do sometimes find that with a large stamp, and this I would call a large stamp, I don't get everything stuck down fully. You almost need to roll it, hold it up. If you have the same problem when you get air bubbles, what I do is I take my Take Your Pick tool and I just pierce them, because that way they will go flat, or more likely to go flat, and you won't end up with a part of your stamp, come on, that is higher than another part of your stamp, which can cause problems when you are stamping. That looks better. So I am going to go, I'm going to deliberately pick a stamp set that I know, or an ink pad that I know is not terribly well inked. Ooh, that's gorgeous. Ooh, that's a clever idea. I shall have to try that. I'm looking at this card here, which is very clever. We might have to have a go at that. Right, I need a piece of card. I think they've used soft suede. Of course, I won't be able to find any soft suede. Oh, I don't know. That looks remarkably like a piece of soft suede. But maybe Evening Evergreen and soft suede. Anyway, I'm going to use soft suede. Not soft suede, soft succulent. Duh. The blossom is absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. So let's bring in a scrap. I might actually just use the technique rather than copy completely. So it is a distinctive stamp, so you want a light touch with your ink. Famous last words. I want to be up a bit because I've decided what I'm doing. So you need to give it a good push. Yeah, you've got to pop your bubbles. That is exactly what I was going to do, the whitewash technique. So there is our stamped image, and it's meant to be a bit mottled, so that's all good. And I'm going to bring out my old Whisper White, I think, because I have a pool, my very old Whisper White. I have a pool of white. Now you can do this with various things. You can use ink, you can use your watercolour pencil, you can use the white marker. I'm going to go for a blender pen and white ink. You could use a water painter. Actually, you can also use a slightly dry one of these. In fact, I happen to know that this is slightly dry because I use this end for black. This end is slightly dry, so I should be able to pick up small amounts of ink and drag it onto my flower. Now what you want to make sure you don't do is cover up all the lines, because you do want the lines there. You just want them not there completely. So basically you're just picking up, can't see what the picture is, you're just trying to pick up where there are areas that are lighter. Could use the bleach technique as well, yes. Do I wash my chamois? I do, but it does get stained. I say I wash it, I rinse it through with water. What I do is I run the tap hot, put my chamois in the sink and run the tap over it while it's hot. Then I leave it to get cold, because that way some ink comes out with hot and some ink comes out with cold, and that way you get the best of both worlds. And I give it a squeeze as I'm going along, but that's basically what I do. But it does end up getting stained, particularly with the black. And then every now and again I treat myself to a new one because they're not expensive. And I keep it in, yet again, something we can't get anymore. I keep it in a half wood mount case. Oh, actually, are they available? I think they may be available online. Anyway, it's a half wood mount case that I keep it in. So I cut it in half. How often? Not often enough, I think, is the honest answer. I should probably do it every day. I don't. If I do it once a week, I'm probably not. But it depends, to be honest, it depends on how much you're using it. So if you're doing a lot of stamping, you're going to want to rinse it out more often. So you can see how this is building up very, very soft white. I mean, it's, you know, it's not in your face white. And it's really quite therapeutic. But a slightly dry blender pen is perfect, because you don't want anything too wet, otherwise your card will start pilling, which is not a nice effect. And just keep going until you've decided that you've done everywhere that you want. I think I'm going to stop when I've done the flowers. Can do it on the leaves as well if you want. I think I've got all of the flowers. Yep. So that's what we've now got. And it makes sense that I've got white one end and black the other. That's going to keep my brain happy. I can almost not remember how to open those stamp cases now. Right, so what I'm thinking is I need an evening evergreen base, which I'm fairly certain I have got, but if not I can quickly cut one. There we go, evening evergreen. And some of that soft succulent ribbon. We do need a sentiment, and I think we've got some here. I'm going to go really basic and happy birthday, I think. It is a beautiful, beautiful stamp. So if you can only afford to place one order, try and make it a big one. Get your friends, get together with your friends and get them to chip in as well. And get this stamp set. You could absolutely, Nora, you could use it on vellum. It would look stunning on vellum. So I'm just going to stamp this down in the corner. So it's going to be a fairly simple card, just with that nice technique. It is the little things, absolutely. The little things make all the difference. I'll leave that to clear up later. So then we're going to have some of this lovely soft succulent satin ribbon. This ribbon is gorgeous. I trained in fashion design, and I love me a bit of ribbon. And this is gorgeous. Now I'm going to come... See, I want that stem to be slightly longer. So we're going to make it slightly longer. This is my Stampin' Right marker. And because it's distinctive, rather than drawing a straight line, I'm dotting for my extended stem. Can you see? So from there down is just dots with my Stampin' Right marker, because then I can have it where I can have my ribbon where I want it and my stem where I want it. Line that up. Okay, so somewhere I have Seal Plus. There we go. Let's get the stamp out of the way. Come on. There we go. Right, so I'm going to line up that side, and that can go there. It's 1/2 inch wide, so I want to be between two sets of grid lines, like that. And I am going to put some Seal Plus on there as well, and I am then going to add a dimensional, because I'm going to pop this up onto my card base. Now obviously I'm going to need to put a white liner in, so dimensional on top of that. But it means that my ribbon is really well trapped, for want of a better word. And sticky scissors. The ribbon is just, oh, I love this ribbon. It is just so special. it would be really nice to do dressmaking with. Okay, let's pop these on the edge of my table. And then the card will basically be done. So there we are. Now, of course, you can add some embellishment, but I actually think it's quite nice as it is. So there we are. We are now at 2 minutes to 4. How's that for timing? I said this would go on for 2 hours, and it has. So I hope that's given you some inspiration, particularly if you were a bit about some of the sets. Obviously, I haven't done everything. I haven't got everything to do everything. And I will be sharing these a bit more over the coming weeks. Gives me lots of things to blog about, which is always good. So do remember to give me a thumbs up if you haven't already. As I say, if you're in the UK and you want a catalogue, hop over to my website. There's a link to my website below. Go to the catalogue page and fill in the form. Obviously, if you are a demonstrator or you already work with a demonstrator, please ask them. But if you're a demonstrator, you will have your own catalogue anyway. Thank you, Nora. But yes, I hope that has given you something to think about. Do remember that this is also a really good time to join, because you can choose your normal joining offer plus any 2 stamp sets from either the annual or the mini, not from Celebration, but annual or mini. You can add an extra £80 of value depending on which ones you choose. So have fun. As I say, I would love to welcome you to the team. Team retreat is a couple of weeks' time. Must get everything out. So glad Kylie Boutique. Oh, thank you, Holly. I'm on Kylie's training thing. I did one of the talks for Kylie at the very beginning of her current training season. So yes, Kylie is lovely. I'm very fond of Kylie. Thank you, Jan. Thank you, Holly. Thank you, Brenton. Have a fantastic. You're very welcome, Brenton. You need to be shouted out about because you are a talent. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see those of you who can join me on Tuesday at 11 o'clock. Otherwise, Thursday at 3 o'clock. Those are UK times. Otherwise, have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you again very soon, I hope. I will do a proper goodbye by actually facing the camera full on, and then I will say goodbye properly. So thank you very much. And have a great weekend. Bye bye. Thank you, Joanne.